And welcome to the Magician with a Microphone podcast. My name is Chris Langle of Chris Langle Magic, and I am your host. And today, I do want to talk about the big news that I had over the week. I want to talk about wrestling a little bit. I want to talk about just a little of everything that comes to my mind. Relationships, advice, possible new things that will be happening to me. It'll be a whole smorgasbord of stuff that I'm talking about. First and foremost, I want to say to anybody who is listening, who has been listening every show, thank you to the two people that listen to this every show. I know who you are. I'm also trying out this new brown butter caramel Starbucks Frappuccino. So let's see how this is. I feel like this was opened already. Strange. Oh well. Not bad. Okay, cool. I'll get that again. So, my big announcement this week. I am officially a performer at Lake Compounds in Southington, Bristol, Connecticut. It's right on the line. It's like half the parks in Bristol, half the parks in Southington. But I'm officially a performer as of next weekend. Today is the 23rd. As of October 2nd, I am a performer. No, wait, hold on. Today is not the 20th. Yeah, today's the 23rd. 24 and 30. Okay, yeah, so the 2nd. I believe it's the 2nd. Whatever next Saturday is. That is when I start. I'll be doing magic shows throughout the day, as well as close-up magic in between shows, and I may or may not be giving a lesson every once in a while, too. We haven't discussed that yet. I did bring it up as like an idea. But I'm excited, man. I've been looking to try to get this gig for, 4 years now? Almost had it before COVID hit. And then, yeah, it turns out that COVID hit. So, all of October, every weekend in October, I will be there. Every Saturday and Sunday. I did post on Instagram and TikTok that it was Friday and Saturday. They changed it to Saturday and Sunday. So, I will be there doing my magic shows, my close-up magic. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. I'm really excited. And it's funny because I don't ride amusement park rides. I don't go on roller coasters. I don't go on, big rides or anything like that. So, I have no intention on going on any rides. Nope. I'm just there to entertain the people whose intention it is to go on all the rides. And maybe see a magic show in between. Who knows? So I'm really excited about that. Hopefully I'll have a bigger crowd than I did at the Bijou Theater because, let's face it, nobody cares to see me when I'm doing my own show. I might as well be sponsored by somebody else so people have no choice but to see me because I'm already there and the show's happening and you have nothing better to do. If you don't have a choice in the matter, you'll come and see the show. So... yeah, man, I'm really thrilled about this because, this is just further proof that hard work does pay off. Again, I've been trying to get this gig now for 4 years, and it finally happened, and if everything goes well this month, I will be in for next year. And if I'm in for next year, oh, dude, you better expect a lot of cool things from me, man. I'll be investing in bigger things. I will also not be available for anything else, depending on my scheduling, so that'll be pretty cool. I don't know, I might book a tour after the season ends. I might book an actual, theater tour. Nah, you know what, I don't think I want to book a theater tour, because nobody will come out and see me. I'll have to do something smaller. I'll figure something out. So, but yeah, Lake Compounds, I don't know the address. Just Google Lake Compounds in Bristol and or Southington, and you'll get to it. I know it's on Lake Street. That is something that I do know. Usually I try to tell people, hey, Lake Compounds in Connecticut? No? Oh, it's over by ESPN. Oh, it's over by the Elevator Building. The Elevator Building, it's the tallest building in Bristol, and it's where they actually test elevators there. I believe it's ThyssenKrupp. Whatever logo looks like Darth Vader. So, yeah. So, shows will be roughly 45 minutes each. Maybe an hour, depending on how the crowd's doing. I don't know if I'm slated to do 2 or 3 shows. But I figure if I'm going to be there from 10 to 6, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 hours, I can fit 4 shows in. Maybe I can fit 3 in. Just do close-up magic in between and then probably try to find a place to take a nap. I don't know. All I do know is I'm going to be investing in Monster, Rockstar, coffee, energy drinks, supplements, anything to keep me awake. Because I'm going to need that energy. So, come and see me. All right, wrestling talk. Yesterday was Grand Slam, AEW. If you guys can kind of tell, I don't really watch WWE anymore. I keep up with them, but I don't make it a point to watch WWE because it's just so damn predictable. I watched SmackDown last week, and like the guys I was watching SmackDown with, we were basically predicting promos, predicting what was going to happen. SmackDown and Raw have become so damn predictable. It's to the point where you can almost write the promos verbatim before anyone says them because you know what's going to happen. They play out the same matches every fucking week. Every week. I remember I was watching Raw when I was religiously watching it. I don't remember who it was, but there was the same matchup for like 7 weeks in a row. I think it was Dolph Ziggler and somebody, but it got so boring. It's like you have so many guys on your roster and you have to utilize the same 2 people every fucking week doing the same thing. And the finishes were the same too. You know, it's like, you got so many people, use them. But, of course, WWE doesn't do that because they don't see worth in all of the rest of their talent that aren't at the top. AEW, on the other hand, seems to know what they're doing when it comes to the distribution of their wrestlers. You've got stables right now that are really strong. For example, Matt Hardy was HFO. His stable's doing really good right now. Granted, they're in the whole situation with Orange Cassidy, and Matt Hardy might get his head shaved, which I honestly think would be pretty cool. But you've got other staples like the Dark Order that are currently on the verge of a split right now. So they at least know how to utilize their guys. They have a lot of guys in the Dark Order. So they know that they have to split them, turn half of them heel, Find another leader for one of them. I guarantee you one of them is going to be Hangman. I think the other one's going to be Bray Wyatt. Because I guess AEW is going to Rochester pretty soon. And that was Brody Lee's hometown. Let's see. The obvious guys, CM Punk. CM Punk is actually going against Powerhouse Hobbs in Taz's group. I mean, that was kind of unexpected. I could have sworn that they were going to put CM Punk against like Adam Cole or Kenny Omega or something. I didn't realize he's going down a little bit further down the card to Powerhouse Hobbs and Taz's FTW group. And then, of course, you've got the match that happened that everybody was talking about, that everybody was excited for and was pissed off about the ending, but I can understand why they did this. Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega, and they went to the very end, full Broadway. And people were pissed the fuck off that match ended in a draw, time limit draw. But I get it. I understand. That match was back and forth. Technical, it was powerful, there were fucking great moves everywhere. It was nonstop. There were barely any rest spots. The V-trigger from the outside of the ring to Bryan Danielson was awesome, by the way. Bryan Danielson has not lost a beat. Kenny Omega, I've said in the past, Kenny Omega is one of the top 3 best wrestlers in the world today. So these two are going to put on a clinic of a match. And, I mean, the crowd was behind it the entire time. From the second that bell rang, they had a "This is awesome" chant before the first lockup. You don't get that too often. And then they were going for fucking ever. And then that bell rang, and then the crowd starts booing like crazy. Dude, I cannot wait. What is the next pay-per-view? Revolution? I think it's Revolution, or it's either that or Full Gear. Either way, that is going to be the next time Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega wrestle each other. And it's going to be a no time limit match, which, I mean, let's face it, they could probably go for 2 hours. And it's going to be for the title. Do I hope Bryan Danielson wins? Absolutely not. I want Kenny Omega to hold on to that title as long as possible until the right guy comes by to take it off of him. I know who the right guy is. They apparently just don't want to sign him yet. But in my opinion, the right guy for that title is fucking Kevin Owens. Kevin Steen. Alright? Understand what kind of story that they could put into this, okay? Kevin Steen, the Young Bucks, and Adam Cole, Mount Rushmore, right? Bring Steen in because apparently his contract is up before the Rumble. I don't think he's re-signing. I think he wants to be with his friends again. You bring Kevin Steen in as a heel, right? Have him join Super Click, have him join the Elite, make everybody think that he's, just one of them. Last fucking second, turn him on Omega. Turn him on the Super Click, break up break up Mount Rushmore. Have that, because that would be the curveball that nobody sees. Everybody's expecting when Owens finally does quit, and he goes back to being Kevin Steen, and he goes to AEW, because let's face it, it's going to happen. Everybody thinks that he's just going to be a heel and just roll with the guys. No. A good curveball, a convincing curveball would be to turn him babyface against his friends. Have him win the championship, okay? Now, hear me out. Of course, you're going to say, let's not have him win the championship right off the bat. He's still pretty green in AEW. No, everybody knows who he is. And the second that his music hits, depending on what music he uses. If he uses his Ring of Honor music, it's going to get a pop instantly. But depending on when they do it, they could absolutely throw such a curveball. Maybe have him even cost Kenny Omega the title. Or maybe cost him a win for something. I don't know. Start to throw the seeds in there. Throw the seeds in the ground. Don't even pat the ground down yet. Just throw the seeds on the ground and introduce them to the concept of a babyface turn. Because I feel like when Steen finally joins AEW, he's going to be a heel. That's too obvious. And I also think Generico's going back to the Indies. I think Sami Zayn is going to be done. If Steen goes to AEW, expect Sami Zayn to leave WWE. Because they are best friends. Now, what they could do, put the belt on Kevin Steen as a babyface. Okay? Give Kevin Steen full, absolute freedom of what he says. Because the promos, we all know by now, the promos in AEW are not scripted. Okay? Let him tear into the Bucks. Let him tear into Don Callis. Let him tear into the guy with the spray paint shit. What the hell is his name? I can't think of his name right now. Let him tear into Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. Or Doc Gallows. Let him tear into Kenny Omega. Let him embarrass them, right? Get them pissed off. And then just have him fucking decimate them. They kind of made Kevin Steen a fucking idiot in WWE. For a while, he was. The whole feud with Shane McMahon, I thought was great. Him as a heel was fantastic, but to me, Kevin Steen as a babyface is a lot more Stone Coldish. Everybody says that Moxley is the next Stone Cold. John Moxley is the next Stone Cold Steve Austin. You can't boo him. He's the outlaw. Dude, no. Kevin Steen is the next Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, I have also been a fan of Kevin Steen since he was still in Ring of Honor. I remember the first thing that I ever saw of Kevin Steen that made me a fan of his is when he had his son Owen. He was like 1 year old. I think it was like 1 or 2 years old. No, he had to have been 1 year old. He wasn't even crawling yet. And he's in the ring with somebody, and the guy makes fun of his son. He calls him ugly or something like that. Your ugly autistic son. And Steen gives him 3 fucking package pile drivers in a row, leaves the ring, goes, gets his son, puts his son on top of the guy, and counts the fall. And that was just fucking pure brilliance. And that was like, that is what I want to say. I want to see Kevin Steen as just the guy who comes in, talks his shit, has fun with it, okay? And then beats the fucking shit out of you. You know? Because he can. And then when he's done, oh shit, cool. Hey, look at what happened to that guy. Ha ha, fuck you. You know? That would be great. I also feel like Samoa Joe's going to be going to AEW eventually. I'd love to see AEW have Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is a beast on the mic. I think he's one of the best promo guys that wrestling has had in the last 10 years. One of the best, easily top 5. Samoa Joe has the feeling. He's got that raw emotion and pure talent to be able to make anything he says convincing. And that accent, too. And the fact that he's Samoan and is not included in this whole bloodline bullshit, I think he's the only Samoan that is not, like I know he's related to The Rock. I know that there's some sort of connection between him and I believe it was Rikishi. I think Rikishi's his uncle or something like that. I guess like the Usos are like his cousins or some shit. Second cousins. But they don't include him as like the superior Samoans. No, he has nothing to do with that. And I think it's great, you know? Hell, I would love to see a feud with him against Roman and have them never bring it up once that Samoa Joe is part of the bloodline. That would be great. Samoa Joe in AEW, if he were to go, I would probably put him against Darby Allin because I feel like the promos would just be fucking insane. Especially with Sting. Because then Samoa Joe, obviously he'd have to be a heel. Samoa Joe would bring up the whole, your neck's already been broken, and I'm known for ending careers, and I'll break your neck, and I'll kill you, and I'll end your career, and, Darby Allin at that point would be like fighting for the defense and the legacy of Sting, and I think that would be a great way for Sting to finally pass the torch on to Darby Allin, is have somebody like legitimately threaten Sting's career. Or put Sting's career to an end and say, you know what? Look, this is what you were responsible for. Sting didn't have to come out of retirement, but because he had to babysit you, and you had to drag him around because you don't know what you're doing because you're just a lost soul in this game. And now look at what happened. Now he's gone. He's injured. His career is over because of you. Because you're a little bandwagoner. You're a coattail rider, dude. That would be great. That'd be really cool. That would have to be a major heel. But then again, Darby Allin would have to learn how to fucking cut a decent promo. I mean, I know that he's one of those actions speak louder than words guys. I get it. But he'd have to learn how to talk like heavy if he was going to go. And I think Samoa Joe would be the perfect guy for that. Jeez, here I am getting all off topic. Let's talk about AEW Grand Slam. From what I saw, the opening match was great. The opening match was everything you could have ever asked for. It was back and forth. It was absolutely one of those classic matches. And I know that there are going to be people who are going to say, "Oh, it was too long. It was bullshit. There were too many high spots." No. The fact that the crowd got so mad when that bell rang, Yeah, fucking crazy. CM Punk's promo about the old CM Punk. They're teasing a heel turn. You're going to regret wanting the old CM Punk. Now, here's what I think about this. Here's what I think about this. CM Punk was bitching on Colt Cabana's podcast because when they turned him heel, he was the top pusher for merchandise. He was outselling Cena, and he didn't want to turn heel. And he was going to lose money. Punk! You're the top babyface in AEW right now. You're the most talked about wrestler in the last 7 years. You didn't wrestle one single match, and you were chanted for and cheered for every fucking week on WWE programming for almost 3 years straight. CM Punk sold $100,000 worth of merchandise in 1 day on Pro Wrestling Tees. They turn him heel, that's a stupid fucking mistake. I think CM Punk needs to be a babyface for absolutely as long as possible because let's face it, CM Punk is the modern day Rock. Okay? CM Punk will sell out any building. CM Punk sold out a building with the rumor that he would be there. Okay? CM Punk will automatically draw a crowd no matter who he wrestles, no matter where he wrestles, no matter how long he wrestles for. His merchandise has always looked fucking amazing. Okay? He's just that badass that you want as your friend. He retired the Voice of the Voiceless moniker, but at the same time, he still speaks for wrestling fans. Okay? CM Punk's entrance music is noticeable after the first note of Cult of Personality. He was considered to have, by Guinness World Records, the loudest pop in a sporting event history. If you turn CM Punk heel, you are going to lose so much fucking money. You can't turn him heel. You can't. You obviously have something that people have wanted for 7 years. Tony Khan, don't fuck this up by letting him tease the stage dives and not roaming around the crowd. And you guys gotta keep CM Punk as a baby. And I know I sound like a mark right now, but guys, they have to keep CM Punk as a babyface for as absolutely long as possible. CM Punk is the face right now of professional wrestling. And I say that knowing that there are other guys, knowing that there's Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, who I personally hate. Knowing that there are guys like the Young Bucks, knowing that there's Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson and Ruby Soho and Britt Baker and Charlotte Flair and all of these people, CM Punk is the guy that nobody would shut up about for 7 fucking years. Okay? When Edge retired, and he started... Here's the thing, and here's the funny thing, all right? Because I know that there are Punk haters out there. Oh, he's overhyped, he's overrated. Oh, he's not as good as he once was. Dude, all right, let me ask you this. Did you watch the replays of him coming out in Chicago? Probably did. Did you watch his match against Darby Allin? You probably watched clips of it. And at the same time, when Punk quit, everybody thought for even the first year that he was coming back. When Edge retired, nobody said anything. When Edge started doing movies and acting on Haven, nobody said, oh, maybe he's going to come back to wrestling. No. When Bryan Danielson retired, quote unquote, for the first time, people for like 3 weeks were like, oh, maybe he's going to New Japan. And then he was silent. He didn't say anything. People weren't jumping down his back. Oh, come back to wrestling, come back to wrestling. You know, I don't even think Stone Cold Steve Austin had that much hype when he quit back in, 2002? When he just left the company? There weren't people chanting Stone Cold Steve Austin every week for 8 months. People chanted CM Punk at wrestling shows for 7 years. Now, I feel with all of these new guys in AEW, with all of these brand new faces, first off, CM Punk as a manager alone could fucking be great. I know Punk is a part-timer. I know he's a part-timer, and I understand that he's not going to be wrestling every week. But you know who is? Luchasaurus. Jungle Boy. Fuck it. Which, by the way, that friendship with Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy and Marco Stunt and trying to get him to learn how to sing the Golden Girls theme, fantastic. If Punk managed those guys, that would be great. And I feel like we could see Jungle Boy go from like a mid-card level all the way to a top-card level. Just under the guidance of CM Punk. Same thing with Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus is a big dude. Luchasaurus has the ability to be in that caliber of world title material. Do you know what's not keeping him? What's keeping him from doing that? Why he's not there is because of his gimmick. That's why. And I'm not going to be that kind of guy to say, oh, don't worry about the gimmick. Gimmicks are just one thing. He's 6'7"? He's a big fucking guy. Okay? CM Punk is 6'4". No, 6'3". And I saw him standing next to Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus towers over him. Luchasaurus could be a world champion. Jungle Boy could be a world champion. Marco Stunt is there just to be there. Marco Stunt has absolutely nothing to offer. Okay? I'm not a fan of his. I think he's too small. I mean, I don't know. I've seen shoot interviews with him. He seems like a cool dude. I would hang out with him. But keep him as like that side guy, you know? Marco Stunt can bring down Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. CM Punk could elevate them. Put him as the manager for those two. And you guys notice I talk a lot about Jungle Boy. I like Jungle Boy. I think that is a great... He would need a little bit of a character change. He's Luke Perry's son. I know, I can't remember what is it Matthew Perry? Is Jungle Boy's first name Matthew? Is it Adam? Is it... Let me Google this really quickly. I feel like if Jungle Boy went by an actual name, like Jack Perry or something, you know, I think his name is Jack Perry. Somebody looked at it for me. I think it's Jack Perry. But I feel like if he came out as the Jungle Boy Jack Perry, you know, something like that, that would have like, dude, like we're about to see the Jungle Boy. The Jungle Boy Jack Perry is about to win the title. You know, like, here's your new world champion, Jungle Boy Jack Perry. But at the same time, he's doing good enough to where he doesn't even need to go by his actual name. People don't even acknowledge him as Luke Perry's son. I personally think that's cool. You're doing your own thing. You don't have to ride on the coattails of your father. Or of your dead father, in this case. Because, I mean, let's face it, we all know that Luke Perry passed away. And, you know, Luke Perry's the one that got Jungle Boy into wrestling. You know, I used to bring him to wrestling shows and everything. And Jungle Boy has said that. But at the same time, though, he's also been able to make a name for himself without that moniker of, hey, Luke Perry's my father. I think other people, like Charlotte, should, like, you know, work on that. You know, make your name for yourself. Like you, Charlotte Flair. The only reason why you're champion so many times is because your father is Ric Flair, and I don't even know how long it's going to last after the Dark Side of the Ring episode came out. So, oh man, I hate talking about wrestling because I rant on so much. It's 30 minutes into the podcast. There's already so many other things I wanted to talk about, and I forgot. Oh well, keep going. So, I really quickly, I'm gonna end the wrestling talk right now. I'll have more thoughts about that next week on the next episode of Magician with a Microphone podcast. Really quick, I just want to get into the whole moniker and concept of relationships. Why? Because I'm the last person that you're ever going to go to for relationship advice. And I'm the last person who should give relationship advice, considering I fucked up every relationship I was in. And the one relationship I wanted recently, the girl wanted nothing to do with me. But guys, understand something. It is okay to not want to date someone. Okay? It's okay not to date someone. It's okay to want to be friends with someone. It is okay to not want to ruin a friendship because you're afraid that a relationship would ruin it. Okay? It is not okay. It's not okay to lead people on. It's not okay to, make somebody think that there is a chance. It is not okay to string somebody along and do all this, hokey pokey fucking relationship style shit and have no intention on it going anywhere. And why am I saying this? Because I just recently was fucking guilty of that. And I'm a moron. Ended up becoming friends with this person. I'm not going to mention any names. They didn't even know I have a podcast. So, ended up becoming friends with this person who I met at a festival through another friend of mine. And we hit it off. We're really good friends. And I was a moron and was still trying to get over one person. And fucking, she kind of came along. And I was like, well, this is the way I'm going to get over this other person. And, yeah, guess what? I fucked up. And I decided, hey, I'm going to string this along and try to distract myself. And granted, I distracted myself, but it kind of backfired. So, guys, my only advice to you would be to preserve friendships. Be nice to everybody. Don't do stupid things like I do. Hopefully I can fix everything and, make everything not awkward. But, it is what it is. But the reason why I bring that up is because, I've been realizing lately, it's just I've been kind of happy without, having to look for, having to consistently look for that companion, you know what I mean? And I think it was probably God's way of telling me, hey, focus on compounds, focus on your career. Don't focus on women right now because, maybe it's not the best thing for you, especially when you've got so many things going on at one time, all coming in and, that could potentially benefit me like crazy, So, I'm really happy for the people that I have in my life. I'm really grateful that the people that I'm hanging out with and that I've had, come along in my life have come along. I'm really happy for that. But unfortunately, I don't know. I feel like fate has just been telling me lately, focus on the important things. I'm one of those guys where I cannot be alone. I hate the thought of being alone. I question people's sanity when they tell me that they like being alone. Granted, I know some people who are like that, who genuinely enjoy being locked in a room by themselves, away from society, and I'm like, I can't fucking do that. I know people who are like that. I'm like, how the hell do you manage? But, unfortunately, I was a moron and kind of like made things seem like they were going one way when in all reality I didn't want them to go that way, and I fucked up. So, but yeah, guys, be happy for the things that you have in your life. Be happy for the people that you have, and don't fuck it up. Don't ruin it. Try not to ruin it, at least. It's not worth it in the long run. And unfortunately, because of the feelings that I had for other said person that I was trying to get over, it kind of took a toll and fucked up something that could have possibly been good for, the future. But at the same time, again, could have been a sign. Focus on the important things. So, and I've got a lot of important things coming up. I've got compounds, I've got shows, I've got another thing at the Bijou. I'm opening up for friends of mine, Pete and Chris Amusements at the Bijou Theater on December 12th. So, that's going to be a lot of fun. They are doing a Christmas-themed show, Santa Claus and Elf. So if you're going to be in the area, come down and see that. Nobody could be bothered to come and see my show, so I'm just going to promote for my friends and see how that works out. So, and I'm not going to be bitter if they get a bigger crowd than me, because I know that they're going to get a bigger crowd than me. Trust me when I say I'm not going to be bitter. I know it's me. I know it's me who cannot draw a crowd. I actually have an idea that I have to clear with the Bijou. Hopefully, if I can get that going, it'll make them a lot of money. So, but yeah. Guys, I'm going to get going. Got a couple of things I got to do here at the gallery. And hopefully, I will talk to you guys very soon. This has been the... before I go. Really quickly, I want to say to the 2 people that listen to this podcast in its entirety, thank you very much. If you could share it, it'd be fantastic. I am available for events, get-togethers, close-up magic at restaurants and bars, at, corporate events, you name it. I'm available. Golf tournaments, you name it. You can get to me on Facebook, Chris Langle Magic. You can contact me through Instagram, Chris Langle Magic, all social media. And obviously all of my contact info is on Facebook as well. So, but guys, I'm going to get going. I'm Chris Langle with Chris Langle Magic. This has been the Magician with a Microphone podcast. I will talk to you guys next week.